So initially, so this is the Google Hangout interface. So here you will be having some menu items like invite people, chat, screen share, capture, Google Effects, YouTube, and more apps also. Suppose if I want to share my PPT or my screen directly, what I need to do is click screen share. So you can select the full screen labeled window. So this is called Google Hangouts window, screen share for Hangouts. Here you will be having different options actually. So you can select full screen, click here, start screen share. Then you can double click it. Okay. So you will be getting the environment like this. If you get like this, probably you are able to share your screen. Now, now, suppose if I want to demonstrate particular page now, so this is the way. Now you can see. So I just kept it somewhere else. Then I need to open that. MSIT program. Vera content. MSIT courses. MSIT courses. Oops, through C++ content. Week 1. Let it be module 2. So this is the module 2, right? So in module 2 what we are going to learn is know the need of OOPS concepts, identify real world objects, create software objects using class, implement state and behavior of the software objects. Why do we need OOPS? So as you know that you may have heard about been involved in horror stories of LMS, library management system, project development in structured programming approach. As programs grow larger, the project becomes too complex, because that is the basic reason actually. Suppose as long as suppose there is a confined project for particular requirements, we can confine to only C language. The situation where you need to implement regularly, you need to improve regularly based on the keep on updation of the end user, then we will have a better mechanism, better architecture towards software development. Okay. So in this perspective, we need to have a effective mechanism which will be supported by a language actually. So in this case, we will go for object-oriented programming, because which is very flexible. Okay. The basic object-oriented approach here is main idea behind this is it's a combined into a single program entity both the data and functions that operate on the data. You do remember that object is a real world entity which has some state and behavior. Okay, which has state and behavior. And if you can take example, morning in the morning session we have discussed about what exactly object. So object can be a real world entity which is a physical entity which has some shape or weight or some behavior, right? Simply I can conclude object is an entity which has state and behavior. State can be any attribute or state can be any property, right? Behavior can be what it can do. Okay. So if you can think like that about objects, everything will be very easy to convert hardware, that is the real world entity, into software entity. Okay. You can think that real world entity can be hardware and software entity can be a software objects. Example, if you can take pen or our mobile, you can take mobile as a real world entity, right?
Yes, sir.
Agreed or not? Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
So it's a real world entity because mobile is a real world entity which has certain properties as well as behaviors. Can you enumerate what are the properties of mobile?
So calling, sir.
Yeah. See, property. I am not asking activity. I am not asking behavior. Ah. So touch screen size or keypad, multi keypad, color, weight, and screen size, right? These are all the attributes actually you should understand. Okay, when coming to the basic functionality of mobile is it can receive the call, it can make a call. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so two primitive actions are performed by any mobile, basic mobile. Of course, you should not bring here smartphone because it is characterized by many other functionalities, Facebook,
Yes, sir.
e-learning, and internet and all. But primitive functions of mobile is receiving a call, make a call, right?
Yes, sir.
So like this, you can enumerate every object, and you can try to convert it into a software object. So here what happens is the basic difference between structure and class is in the morning session you have seen what exactly structure with operations, right?
Yes, sir.
So here, though you have a structure containing members and data member functions and member functions as well as data members, there is no security kind of mechanism. There is no abstraction. So in order to enhance that functionality, we will go for a structure called class actually. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that way you have to think of actually. So simply you can say object is a collection of states and actions. States and actions.
sir.
Actions can be behaviors. So one object may have many activities, many actions, many behaviors, right?
Yes, sir.
So for example, if you can take car has certain properties: color, manufacturer name, and number of seats, steering type, and all. Okay, braking system type and all. And when coming to the activities, it will go forward, it will go backward, it will go right, it will go left, and any direction, right?
Yes, sir.
So this way you can enumerate their behaviors as well as states. That is very important for implementing any real world object into a software object. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So when coming to the advantages of software objects, building code into individual software objects provides a number of advantages, including modularity. Modularity. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just respond. Modularity of the source code. See, modularity. The source code of the object can be written and maintained independently of the source code for other objects actually. Once created, an object can be easily passed around inside the system, and information hiding by interacting only with the object's methods, not other details actually. So that can be achieved with object oriented concepts here. Then code reusability will be achieved. Pluggability and debugging easy. If particular object runs out the problematic, you can simply remove it from your application and plug in different objects as its replacement. So this is analogous to fixing mechanical problems in the real world. If a bolt breaks, you replace it, not entire machine, right? Like that also we can implement the software objects which will give us more flexibility, reusability, and fixing solutions. Okay. So this is about second module actually. Anyway, let us have this session and record it. That will be shared to other guys also. That would be better. That's why I am just continuing this. And here if you can see resources, go through the PDF, and here there are two videos. We can walk through these two videos. And problem set A, classes and objects. Using the following class, create an object for it in a main program, and class integer, private int n, public void read integer, print message. So this is a class actually. It is like a structure. You can think that in C language it's like a structure.
Okay, sir.
What do you mean by class actually? Class is a logical container which can encapsulate both data and member functions. Okay, here what are the data members here? Int n is the data member, and when coming to the functions, read integer, print message. These two are the methods. These two are the methods. So which are related to the behavior. N is the state. N is the state. Now you can see void integer scope resolution read integer. In CPP we are implementing the method like this actually. So this is class declaration. Then void integer, scope resolution, read integer. So its return type is void. So it is not returning anything. Then we are simply what we are doing, cout enter the value of n. What does it do is it will prompt the end user to enter the value of n. Then cin,
Yes, sir.
cin for console input. So it is reading the n value whatever you are going to pass. Then void integer print message. So here we are just printing MSIT. So here you can see the printing message MSIT at IIIT and JNTU Hyderabad, like that some message is there. So for example, if you are giving n here, n is a 10. Suppose if you are entering 10, it will loop up to 10 loops. It will iterate up to 10 loops actually. So yeah, up to right from 0 to n instance up to 10 instance 10 loop, 0 to 9 10. Okay, this will print that many times actually. So like that you can create a simple class and implement this program. Okay. So this is a simple class implementation. You just create a main program, there you can invoke these things. Okay. So here you can see create object called int object for the class integer in main program. Call int object dot read integer and int object dot print message from the main program, and another member function called int add integer int number to the class integer, and function add integer returns the sum of the n value n plus no. Call int object add integer from the main program. So you are asked to do enhance it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then create a class called, now you are familiar with how to create a class and how to work with this, right?
Yes, sir.
Then create a class called circle, add members to function as add member function to read radius, add member function to display area. So you can imagine what are the parameters required, what are the values required to create a radius, to read radius value, what is the member function required for area, right? Create an object for the class circle, call the member functions read radius, display area from the main program. Is it easy or not?
Yes, sir.
So create a circle class, there you can add the radius value and some members, whatever the members required to radius, whatever the members required to display area. Then you can create an object in the main class, then call the member functions radius and display in the main program. Okay, you can name it as a pa1 underscore integer and circle dot cpp. Okay, create the class called math, one more program, and math. So here you have given the value int I value public int sum. It is very simple. Create a class called math, complete the member functions in the int sum of some member values, return the sum of x and y. Write a main program which creates an object, say m for the class math. From the, see, creating the object is very easy, right? Right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
From the main program, read two integers I1 and I2. You can have your own statements for reading the values, and call the member function total equal to m dot sum of I1 comma I2 to get sum of I1 and I2. Accessing private members in member functions. Modify the member function so that sum stores the output in a I value. I value equal to x plus y equal to x plus y. Return I value. Here the program is given. Modify. Okay, what are the modification you need to do, that is given here. Name the program as a p8 underscore math. Like this you have to create. Okay. Again, problem set B.
Yes, sir.
Create a class called state with the following member functions: read districts, print districts. Only reading and writing only. Okay. Then when coming to the second one, create class called interest. So you can take the required attributes like principal amount, number of years, rate of interest. Behavior can be read principal amount, read number of years, read interest rate, calculate simple interest, calculate compound interest. So now you might get it, right? So what is the basic relation between data and member functions? Okay. So when coming to the main program, create an object for the class interest in the main program. Call member functions, read to read the principal amount and number of years and interest rate. Call calculate simple interest and calculate compound interest. silent lo bettu ma mobile. Okay, to display the amount plus interest separately, name the program as a pb2 underscore interest dot cpp. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so try to do it. If you have any doubt, immediately you can get back to me, okay, by pinging this. Yeah, and if you have any doubt so far.
No, sir.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. So this is the way to having interaction through Google Hangout. Okay, I just recorded it. I will share across you guys. You can also utilize like this whenever you want to communicate together yourself. Okay. So once after that, if I click here, then it will show me my original status earlier, whatever I wanted to do. So directly I can interact like this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is a simple demo by using this Google Hangout. So I'll share it to you after completion of this video capture. Okay.